My own son and daughter-in-law, the very people I trusted, they didn't just take advantage of me, they tried to erase me. But what they didn't realize was that when you try to bury a seed, you're only helping it grow, and my harvest was coming for them, whether they liked it or not. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. It all began so innocently, as these things often do. 2 years ago, my beloved Harold, the rock of my life, passed away. The silence in our Cedar Falls home, the one we'd built together, brick by brick and memory by memory, became deafening. Harold and I had enjoyed a comfortable life. He was a meticulous planner, always making sure we were secure, and our modest but beautiful home was a testament to his hard work and our shared dreams. After he was gone, Marcus, my only son, called. He and Ashley, my daughter-in-law, said they couldn't bear the thought of me being alone. They insisted I move in with them, into their sprawling colonial house. "Just until you get back on your feet, Mom," Marcus had said, his voice laced with what I then believed was genuine concern. I was grieving, vulnerable, and honestly a little lost. The idea of family around me, especially my 2 darling grandchildren, Emma and Jake, Marcus's children from a previous marriage, was a comforting thought. So I sold our family home, taking a much lower price than it was worth, because Marcus said they needed the funds quickly to help settle me in, a small detail I barely registered in my fog of sorrow. I packed a lifetime into a few boxes, said goodbye to my memories, and moved in. At first, it was fine. I had a lovely guest room, sun-filled and cozy, and the children were a joy. I helped out. Naturally, I cooked, I cleaned, I looked after Emma and Jake while Marcus and Ashley were busy with their careers. I was Dot, Grandma, a useful part of the household. But then, the requests started. Not requests, really more like pronouncements. Ashley, always so polished and articulate, sat me down one evening. "Dorothy," she began, using my full name in that clipped, businesslike tone she reserved for important matters. "We need to discuss a financial arrangement." My heart sank a little. I offered to contribute to groceries, maybe a utility bill, as any grateful guest would. She smiled, a tight, unyielding smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Oh, no, Dorothy. We've gone over the numbers, and given your use of the guest room and all the incidentals, we feel that $1,300 a month would be a fair contribution for rent." $1,300. It was nearly my entire Social Security check. I barely had enough left for my own medications and a few small personal needs. My jaw must have dropped, but I just nodded, too stunned and too proud to argue. After all, they were my family, and I was staying in their home. It must be fair, right? That was the first turning point. My guest room, once a sanctuary, became a room I paid for, a place where I was no longer a welcome guest but a tenant. The duties, too, morphed from helpful contributions to expectations. I was the designated chef, cleaner, laundry attendant, and full-time childcare provider. Emma and Jake were sweet children, and I loved them dearly, but caring for 2 energetic youngsters was exhausting for a 67-year-old. Ashley would leave a list on the kitchen counter each morning, meticulously itemizing chores, playdates, and meal plans. "It helps us all be on the same page, Dorothy," she'd say, never once asking if I was feeling well or if I needed a break. Marcus, my son, my own flesh and blood, was no better. He'd nod along with Ashley, rarely interjecting, always deferring to her. He'd come home from work, kiss me on the cheek, and ask, "What's for dinner, Mom?" Never once noticing the weariness in my eyes, the tremble in my hands as I chopped vegetables, or the faint ache in my back from scrubbing floors. I was paying for the privilege of working for them, becoming a ghost in their grand house, a utility rather than a person. My dignity was slowly being eroded, chipped away day by day, demand by demand. The small joys in my life dwindled to my ritualistic trip to Murphy's Corner store every Wednesday afternoon to buy my lottery tickets, the same numbers Harold and I had played for decades: 7, 14, 23, 31, 45, and Powerball 18. Jimmy Murphy, the owner, a kind man with tired eyes and a ready smile, would always say, "One of these days, Dot, These numbers are gonna change your life." I'd just smile and shake my head, thinking about Harold and how much I missed our quiet evenings, just the two of us. Then came the second turning point, the moment the scales truly fell from my eyes. It was a Saturday night. Marcus and Ashley were hosting a dinner party, a lavish affair for their professional friends. I was, of course, in the kitchen, preparing appetizers and making sure the wine glasses were polished, completely invisible in the buzz of their social lives. I was just about to carry out a tray of bruschetta when I heard Ashley's voice, clear and sharp, from the dining room. She was talking to one of her friends, a woman named Vanessa. "Honestly, Vanessa, it was brilliant," Ashley chirped, a little too loudly after a few glasses of Chardonnay. "Having Dorothy move in? Such a clever financial arrangement. Her Social Security covers a significant portion of the mortgage, and with the kids, her being here means we save a fortune on childcare. Plus, a built-in housekeeper. Honestly, it's like monetizing your mother-in-law. Best decision we ever made." A cold wave washed over me. Monetizing your mother-in-law. The words echoed in my head, stark and brutal. It wasn't just a financial arrangement. It was a business transaction where I was the asset. I stood frozen, the tray heavy in my hands, tears pricking my eyes. Not tears of sadness, but a sudden, searing anger. A quiet, terrifying resolve began to harden inside me. They didn't see me as a person, a mother, a grandmother. I was a resource, a tool, a means to an end. That night, something fundamental shifted. The grief, the loneliness, the resignation, it all started to crystallize into a cold, hard determination. They wanted to use me? Fine. But they wouldn't get away with it forever. I would find my own way, my own justice. I started watching them more closely, listening to their conversations, noting their casual cruelty, their dismissive glances. I opened a small notebook, a discreet little journal I kept hidden under my mattress. I began to write things down, dates, comments, the lists Ashley left for me, the amount of money I handed over each month. I knew, with a certainty that settled deep into my bones, that this wouldn't be my story forever. A few weeks later, their casual cruelty escalated. Ashley called me into the living room, Marcus sitting beside her, looking vaguely uncomfortable. "Dorothy," Ashley said, her voice dripping with artificial sweetness. "We've been thinking. With Emma and Jake getting older, they need more space, and frankly, the guest room would be perfect for a playroom. So we've decided to move you downstairs. We're going to transform the basement into a lovely little apartment for you. It'll be so cozy, a real upgrade. Your own space." An upgrade? The basement was cold, damp, and dimly lit, filled with boxes and old exercise equipment. It was where they stored things they didn't want to look at. It was where they were going to put Namcat. I nodded numbly, but inside a storm was brewing. This wasn't an upgrade, it was an exile. They wanted me out of sight, out of mind, but still available for their endless demands. They wanted to bury me in the dark. The following Wednesday, after a particularly draining day of cleaning and child-minding, I made my usual trip to Murphy's Corner store. Jimmy, bless his heart, handed me my ticket with a wink. "Good luck, Dot," he said. That evening, sitting alone in my guest room, feeling the chill of their impending upgrade already seeping into my bones, I pulled up the lottery results on my old laptop. I barely paid attention as the numbers flashed across the screen. My heart wasn't in it anymore. I was too busy mentally preparing myself for the indignity of the basement. Then I saw it, the first number. My 7, then my 14. My heart gave a little jolt. 23, 31, 45. And then the Powerball. The number Harold always swore was lucky, 18. I stared at the screen, then at my ticket, then back at the screen. Disbelief warred with a sudden, overwhelming rush of adrenaline. I checked it again. And again. It was real. All 6 numbers. $53 million. $53 million. I felt lightheaded. My hands trembled, not from weakness, but from an electric shock of triumph. I gripped the ticket, folded it carefully, and slipped it into the pocket of my housecoat, a secret burning bright within me. I said nothing. Not a word. I went about my chores the next day as if nothing had happened, preparing breakfast, doing laundry, looking after Emma and Jake. But inside, I was a different woman. I was a strategist. Their greed, unknowingly, played right into my hands. A few days later, while I was taking the kids to the park, I left my housecoat hanging on the back of my door, a foolish mistake, I thought. But perhaps not. When I returned, Ashley met me with an unnervingly wide smile. "Dorothy, dear, you'll never guess what I found," she chirped, holding up my lottery ticket. My heart hammered, but I kept my face neutral. "Oh, that old thing?" I said, trying for casual. "Just my numbers." She waved it dismissively. "Well, you won't believe it. The winning numbers. It's one of your tickets." Her eyes were gleaming with an avaricious fire I had never seen so clearly. Marcus appeared, looking bewildered. "Mom, is this true?" He stammered, his eyes also wide with a mix of shock and dawning realization. $53 million! Ashley squealed, grabbing Marcus's arm. "Marcus, honey, we're rich!" Rich. Imagine that vacation home in Tuscany we talked about. A new car for both of us. And darling, we won't have to worry about Dorothy anymore. We can send her to that lovely retirement community. You know, the really expensive one with the ocean view. A perfect solution for everyone. My blood ran cold. The ocean view community wasn't for my comfort. It was a more expensive way to get rid of me, to ensure I was far away while they spent my money. They were already talking about we and ours. The sheer entitlement, the complete disregard for my identity as the winner, solidified everything. They didn't see me. They only saw the money. "Ashley," I said, my voice quiet, almost a whisper, "that's my ticket, and it's my money." Her smile vanished. Marcus looked confused. "What do you mean, Mom? You live here. We support you. Of course it's ours. It's family money." Ashley's eyes narrowed. "Dorothy, don't be ridiculous. You're part of our household. This is a family win. And frankly, we've contributed far more to your well-being than you have to ours. This is our opportunity to finally live comfortably." She actually said it, with a straight face. My blood boiled, but my voice remained calm. "No, Ashley, it's not family money. It's my money. And I'm not going to that ocean view community. Not on your terms." The confrontation was swift and brutal. Ashley exploded, her carefully crafted facade crumbling, revealing a shrieking, entitled monster. Marcus, to my bitter disappointment, sided with her, calling me selfish, ungrateful, accusing me of trying to tear the family apart. "After everything we've done for you, Mom," he cried, conveniently forgetting the $1,300 a month and the endless unpaid labor. I just looked at them, a serene calm washing over me. "You haven't done anything for me, Marcus," I said, my voice clear and firm. "You've used me, and I'm done being used." The very next morning, I called my longtime lawyer, David Richardson. David had handled Harold's estate, and he was a man of integrity and quiet wisdom. I laid out everything: Harold's death, the move, the financial arrangement, the endless chores, the monetizing comment, the basement plan, and finally, the lottery ticket, and their immediate assumption of ownership. David listened patiently, his face grim. When I finished, he leaned back, a faint smile playing on his lips. "Dot," he said, "Harold foresaw something like this." My eyes widened. "What do you mean?" I asked. David then revealed a secret, a testament to Harold's enduring love and foresight. Before he died, Harold, knowing Marcus and Ashley's tendency towards materialism and their struggles with financial responsibility, had taken steps to protect me. He had hired a private investigator, a man named Frank, to meticulously document their financial situation. For nearly 3 years, Frank had compiled a detailed dossier. Marcus and Ashley's escalating credit card debt, totaling over $47,000, their mortgage being significantly underwater by $32,000, their consistent late payments on various loans, even their exaggerated income claims. Harold hadn't wanted to cause trouble while he was alive, hoping they would mature, but he had prepared for the worst. And he had also, without my knowledge, established a $500,000 trust fund, specifically for my independent use, to be released to me should I ever find myself in dire straits or needing to escape a difficult living situation. "He loved you very much, Dot," David said, his voice soft. "He knew you were too kind for your own good, and he didn't trust them not to take advantage." A wave of emotion washed over me, a mix of profound gratitude for Harold and a renewed surge of fury at Marcus and Ashley. My kind, thoughtful Harold had saved me, even from the grave. This wasn't just about money anymore. It was about honoring his memory, his foresight, and reclaiming my own life. With David's guidance, I began my preparation. We secured the lottery ticket with the State Lottery Commission, ensuring all legal rights were mine. David had copies made of Harold's meticulous dossier, full of bank statements, credit card bills, and loan documents that detailed Marcus and Ashley's mounting debts. We opened a new, entirely separate bank account, moved my Social Security direct deposit there, and set up a new P.O. box for all my mail, effectively cutting off their access to my finances. We found the perfect place for me, a beautiful, bright apartment at the Meadowbrook Senior Community, a serene oasis with lovely gardens and a real sense of community, the exact opposite of their cold basement. David even arranged for a moving company to come on a specific date, discreetly, while Marcus and Ashley were at work. I continued to play my role in their house, cooking, cleaning, child-minding, smiling politely, watching them, collecting more evidence of their oblivious greed, listening to their ever grander plans for our lottery money. Each day was a performance, and I was the star. Their escalation during this time was astounding. Ashley started referring to the lottery money as our investment and would openly discuss lavish purchases, from designer bags to a new luxury SUV, all in front of me, never once acknowledging that the ticket was mine. They even subtly began pushing for me to sign some paperwork, just to transfer the winnings smoothly into a family account. As Ashley put it, clearly a ploy to try and take legal ownership. But David had warned me. My quiet resolve solidified. I was no longer an invisible elderly woman. I was a carefully hidden weapon, ready to deploy. The climax arrived dramatically. First, David orchestrated a public revelation. A reporter from the Cedar Falls Gazette, tipped off by David, contacted me. I agreed to an interview. I sat in David's office, calm and composed, and in a steady voice I detailed everything. Harold's death, the move, the financial arrangement, the duties, the monetizing comment, the basement plan, and finally, my lottery win and Marcus and Ashley's immediate attempts to claim it. I held nothing back. The story broke the next morning, splashed across the local headlines. Local widow wins $53 million. Claims exploitation by son and daughter-in-law. The public outrage was immediate and fierce. My phone, which had rarely rung, began to ring off the hook with messages of support, and their phone, I later learned, was ringing with angry calls and accusations. Then came the family meeting. I had David send an official letter requesting Marcus and Ashley's presence at my lawyer's office for a discussion regarding financial matters. They arrived, looking flustered and angry, probably expecting me to capitulate, to hand over the money to salvage their reputations. Ashley glared at me. "What is this, Dorothy? Are you trying to destroy us?" I met her gaze, unflinching. David began, calmly presenting the legal documents confirming my sole ownership of the lottery ticket. Their faces fell. "Now," David continued, "we need to discuss your financial situation, Marcus and Ashley." He then laid out Harold's dossier, page by page. Credit card debt, $47, $215, mortgage underwater, $32, $800. Multiple late payment penalties, unsecured personal loans, defaulting. He went through it all, line by damning line, their faces drained of color. They stammered, they denied, but the documents, the cold, hard facts, were undeniable. How did you get all this?" Marcus finally choked out, his voice hoarse. "My husband," I said, looking directly at them, "foresaw this. He wanted to make sure I was protected. He knew you. He knew your greed." Ashley's eyes darted nervously between me and the documents. But the trust fund? Harold told us he was leaving it to us for Emma and Jake's college," she blurted out, her voice cracking. "Harold's generosity was for a new security, Ashley," I clarified. "A $500,000 trust for me in case I ever needed to escape a difficult situation. It was never yours, just like the lottery winnings are not yours." The fallout was swift and brutal for them. The media storm, fueled by my honest account, painted them as villains. Their carefully constructed image of success and respectability crumbled. Marcus lost his job due to the scandal, and Ashley's reputation in her professional circles was irrevocably damaged. Their friends, the very people they'd bragged to about monetizing me, turned their backs. They faced not only public humiliation but also the crushing reality of their deep financial debt, now magnified by the loss of Marcus's income and, of course, the $1,300 a month I no longer paid, nor the free labor I provided. Their sprawling colonial house became a burden, their lifestyle unsustainable. They were left with nothing but their shame and their debts, a perfect mirror of the emptiness in their souls. They tried to apologize, of course, after everything, but I remained firm. "It's too late for apologies," I told Marcus when he called, his voice broken. "You had your chance to be a son. You chose a different path. My new life at Meadowbrook Senior Community is everything I could have wished for. My apartment is bright, modern, and filled with sunlight, a stark contrast to the cold basement they had planned for me. I have new friends, engaging activities, and the freedom to pursue my own interests, whether it's gardening in the community plot or simply enjoying a quiet cup of tea on my sunny balcony, overlooking a beautiful garden, not the ocean I never asked for. I visit Emma and Jake regularly, of course, but now it's on my terms, filled with genuine love, not obligation. I've donated a significant portion of my lottery winnings to local charities, particularly those that support elderly independent living and financial literacy for young families, ensuring that others won't fall victim to the same kind of exploitation. The rest of the money, along with Harold's thoughtful trust, provides me with comfort and security beyond my wildest dreams. I sleep soundly every night, a peace settling over me that I hadn't felt since Harold passed. Harold, my wise, loving Harold. He truly saw into the heart of things, and his foresight was my salvation. Justice delayed wasn't justice denied, it was justice with better timing. If you like this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions in the comments. To listen to the next story, click on the box on the left. Thank you for watching.